Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about controlling your deadlifts. And what do I mean by controlling the deadlift? You guys are going to watch me hit four different training maxes through here, that were done over about maybe a 8 week period of time. You'll see me do like a 565 with a stiff bar there, I think, off of a 2.5 inch deficit. I do a 605 deadlift. I do a 615 deadlift. And I do 600 with a stiff bar off a 1 inch deficit. And I'm just kind of loop these through, and you guys can watch what these look like. And my point here is that what we see oftentimes from a lot of people, they get really psyched up on their deadlift, and it looks terrible. They can't control the weight. They have no control over it. They get to the top near the lockout. They're struggling. They're hitching. You guys have seen a former client of mine who we had to end our business agreement, not necessarily on good terms. And, he was a perfect example of that. And we saw him do it repeatedly, and then he would upload it online, and then I would catch flack for it, because again, real lifters know this stuff. Because we're at a point where people are just ego lifting. If you're at a point to where you have to scream and psych yourself up and then hitch at the top of a deadlift, and then they just drop it almost on the way down, you're not really strong enough to lift the weight. You're not strong enough to lift the weight, because with true strength, we have the ability to control that weight. We are in complete control. And what you'll notice on a lot of these lifts, watch what you guys see me doing. I'm not saying I've always done this every single time or I've always done this historically, but it's about really, in this case, maturing as a lifter, maturing as a coach. And what you'll see is that I don't hitch. If we have to grind it through at the top, we just grind it through. I hold the weight at the top. On a lot of these, I hold the weight for a couple seconds or more. We set it down with some control on the eccentric. We don't just drop it. And this is also what we're looking for in powerlifting meets. This is oftentimes what stricter judging is going to look at. They're going to look at, can you lock it back? Can you lock the shoulders back? Can you hold it till they give you a down command? They're not going to give you a down command until they're sure you have control of that weight and you have fully locked it. Then they'll give you the down command. On the way down, there needs to be some degree of control. I'm not saying it has to be a smooth eccentric, but you need to have some control on the bar. You need to at least be able to hold onto the bar. Okay? Because that's what the ability to lift a weight means. Just like, with a bench press. A true bench, you pause it on your chest and you drive it up. Why? This is control. You aren't just flopping the weight around, you are showing that you have mastery of that weight. Okay, that's real strength. Not the ability to try to cheat our way up, jerk stuff, turn loose of it. All right? Control it. Because if you can't control the eccentric on the way down, it's definitely heavier weights and you need to be lifting. And people will say, well, it's just a gym lift. Well, even more so then. On a gym lift, you shouldn't have to cheat, right? Your form shouldn't degrade on a gym lift. It's just a gym lift. Well, why are you trying to go for a crazy all-time record to where you cheat the weight up if it's just a gym lift? Are you not training to get stronger? Isn't that what we do in the gym? All right, we go to the gym to build strength. We display strength in competitions where it matters, but we're in the gym to build strength. And if what you're doing is a display of strength in the gym that displays a lack of control, it's certainly not helping you get stronger. Not how max effort works. And then we come over to the injury side. I had one of my clients who I was giving him his weights at the time of what I wanted him to lift or singles, because he wasn't ready to pick his own weights, younger guy. And it was this last Christmas. I'm now helping him rebuild after multiple surgeries, by the way. He was struggling with controlling the weight like we're talking about. So I was limiting what I was letting him lift. I was wanting to see control. Well, we hit a PR lift, a small PR. So what did he do on his next lift? He decided because it was Christmas and he wanted to end the year finally hitting his 4-plate per side deadlift. All right, in this case, 180 kg. He's not in America. Wanted that 4 plates. So what did he do? Hitched it at the top, couldn't control it, dropped it on the way down. He was using bumper plates, by the way. What happened? What happened in this case of this lifter getting to this 4-plate deadlift that I had not prescribed to him? He did this after the prescribed work, without my approval, and outside of the rules I had given him. It was technically a non-compliant lift. He was doing a lift that I had not signed off on as his coach, knowing there was an issue there with the bumpers, and he turned loose halfway down because he couldn't control the weight. He couldn't even hold on to it. The weight bounced up and broke his wrist. And I don't mean a little sprain. I mean his wrist was in a cast for months. His wrist was in a cast. After all of that, it had further problems. They had to do a later surgery. He had to have pins put in his wrist. He had months of zero training. I'm now in the process of rebuilding him. Now people say, oh, it's because he's deadlifting heavy. Really? Look at what I'm doing. I'm deadlifting a lot heavier. You see me breaking my wrist? No, because I control the weight. I don't grab a weight I'm not strong enough to grip. I train my grip. I don't do a bunch of strap work. I train my grip all the time. I make sure I'm strong enough to grip the weight. We get a good hold on it. We control it. We lift weights that we can lock, hold, and then lower under control. This is heavier deadlifting than he was doing. Do you see me breaking my wrist? It's not the deadlift, it's the problem, it's the ego. Because how many other lifts can that happen on? Can that happen on tons of exercises? People trying to lift weights they can't control. Can that happen on 10 rep sets? Let's not even talk about maxes. Let's talk about 10 rep sets. Think on the 10th rep, if you're hitting all out failure and doing silly shit, you don't think you get hurt? You don't think injuries occur that way? They happen all the time. There's the bodybuilders all the time who are not even doing singles ever. Control your weights, guys. Control your weights. And you sure as hell need to have control of that weight when you deadlift it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.